this. We got the way too early 53-man roster projection, of course. And then on top of that, we all got to talk about how the pundits, the critics, always putting us in the Super Bowl without giving us a chance to just relax a little bit. But it is what it is, right, Cowboy Nation? Let's continue to grind to shine. The name is Law Nation. Without hesitations nor deviations to the matter, be sure to slap that like button. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Let's go. Come on. They really say ain't no party like a cowboy party. Yeah. What about a Law Nation one, right? Hey, be sure to check out cowboysexperience.com. Purchase your tickets. Purchase your tickets. We got 3 home games in a row far as your chance to come out and enjoy your time. We got the preseason home game, of course. Then we open up with the Buccaneers and the Bengals. So I want to see y'all beautiful faces. Also without hesitations nor deviations. Come on. Bring it, we right here. And we ain't going anywhere. Come on. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Huh, Cowboy Nation? Let's go. And tell the haters, lean forward right here. Let's go. Charge me up, baby. What's up, everybody? What's good? You know, it is what it is, Cowboy Nation, as we grind through this off season. It's always a wonderful situation. Shout out to you, Tyson. Appreciate you. Nick, appreciate you. Jay Lombardi, appreciate you. And C. Parker, appreciate you for jumping in and being part of this organization, this growth pattern and everything else. And I really, really look at this thing like this, Cowboy Nation. As we grow, right? There's new people coming aboard, and new people, I'm gonna tell you, just relax. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the Law Nation beat, right? Remix that thing. Shout out to Beyonce and her new song or what have you, and also shout out to Drake's new album. Let me know if you guys feeling that album, though, by the way. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but neither here nor there. Let's talk about these Dallas Cowboys. So, 53-man roster. Let me say this. There are multiple articles out there that's going over early projections, right? Write this down. Maybe the Cowboys go with 2 quarterbacks. Maybe the Cowboys go with 3 running backs and 1 fullback. 6 wide receivers, 4 tight ends, 9 offensive linemen, 9 defensive linemen, 5 linebackers, 6 cornerbacks, 4 safeties, 4 special teams guys like Jonathan Garibay and Anger and McQuaid. And, of course, you got to put C.J. Goodwin in there because he just always the special team ace. But before we get into this, I always hit you guys with the naysayers right quick. Let's talk about the coaching staff or what have you. Before I talk about the coaching staff, I really appreciate you guys for diving deep into the Devon Harper film. A lot of people already watched that earlier this morning, and I really appreciate you guys. Shout out to MJ. You see, your opinions and your thoughts craft me into the decision to go do some extra homework on certain players. So when we look at Harper, we know from my evaluation and my assessment, this dude can hit. He ran a 4.47. He ran also a 4.5. And, I always pick the lower number. So I think that this dude, he got some speed to him. And it's not necessarily the straight speed that Michael Parsons got. I call it quickness. And he is not afraid to come down and field. That's one of the things that I like. The aggressive mentality. You can play him anywhere as it relates to linebacker on the outside or inside the middle there. He got good range or what have you. He even scored a touchdown with 2 forced fumbles, 13 sacks in his career as a linebacker. That's pretty awesome in my opinion. So I really think that the Cowboys, under the leadership, pay attention, under the leadership of Dan Quinn, can work something with him. Right. I'm not saying that this guy can walk on water or turn water into wine. And if so, I know he can't turn water into wine, but he can at least point you to the liquor store. And that's what I'm looking for. Someone that can assist you. So shout out to this guy, Harper. And may he continue to fight and claw his way on his team. And people fail to realize, I like it this way. Why, Law? Why he like it this way? Well, here's the reason why I like it this way, Cowboy Nation. Nothing is given to any of these guys. Nothing. You got to earn, fight, claw, and get your spot. And that's what I love more so than anything. And before people rag on 40 time or what have you, pay attention to this. My guy, Sean Lee, ran a 4.72. So when you look at the tape, you never really saw the 4.72. Sean Lee looked like there was multiple Lees out there. And I will say this until I'm Cowboys blue in the face. That's how my granddaddy used to do it. But until I'm Cowboys blue in the face, if Sean Lee had Jason Witten's health, they would have put him in a gold jacket before he can even retire. They said, look, man, that guy, man, we're going to go ahead and give him his gold jacket. So it is what it is. PhD, iceberg killed. Yes, poor, hungry, and determined to make it happen. But let's listen to the naysayers, and so I can, tell them to lean forward. You know how I go. Let's listen to these guys.
McCarthy is heading into his 3rd season as head coach of the Cowboys. Last year ended a disappointing loss to the 49ers in the wild card game, which has led to a lot of questions about his job security, especially after Sean Payton departed New Orleans. You know all of that. Well, Jerry Jones was asked about it yesterday, and he responded pretty forcefully. He said Sean Payton shouldn't be out there. For him, the Cowboys, that's just sheer out of the air. It's well known we're good friends and we think a lot of him as a head coach. But in this case, asking the way you're asking, he shouldn't be a conversation piece. Mike has got an opportunity here to win a Super Bowl. That's really the measurement that I look at. So RG3 and our insider extraordinaire, Jeremy.
All right, so I don't want to listen to RG3, but I just want to say this right quick, Cowboy Nation. The man back is against the wall regardless of how we look at it. I don't care if the Cowboy fans want to fight over Sean Payton versus Mike McCarthy or Kellen Moore, Quinn. It don't matter. Look, you know, and this is the real thing. When people start breaking down accolades of coaching, and they say, well, how about this coach here? How about the owner just be the owner and not be the GM, nor the person that got his fingerprints all over it? Now, we do know that Jerry Wayne and things, brilliant guy, billionaire, straight up, billionaire from his mindset and his mentality and everything else, right? Nevertheless, Cowboy Nation, here's the reason why it's been 26 or 27 years and counting. He is the main thing that stayed the same, right? The common denominator for those who did well in school in math. And when you say someone is rearranging the deck furniture on the Titanic. That's what it is. All right, let me just move the chairs on this side of the deck. No, let me slide the swing on this side of the deck. It don't matter. It's still going down unless Jerry Jones get out of the way. As the movie say, get out. But a lot of people don't want to understand that or hear that. But now, here's our problem. It's a conundrum. You got choices. You got choices now of what type of pain you want. On one corner, right? Or in one corner, you got Jerry Jones. And let me paint the picture a little bit better. Bear with me for a few seconds. I gotta really spruce it up just a little bit. Hear me out, Cowboy Nation, and put the butter knives down. You know, don't shank me with the butter knife. Here we go, right here. In your corner, weighing in at approximately 220 pounds, at the age of 80, you have Jerry Wayne Jones, you know. And in the other corner, you have Stephen Jones, 6'2". I think he's like 250 something, you know. So pick your poison. Who do you want? Mount up, right? Let's get this boxing match on the way, you know. Round one, you know. So I'm not beating up the Cowboys, but the Cowboy players got to win in spite of whatever is going on in the front office. They got to also look within themselves and say, okay, we do like the fingerprints, the philosophy that Dan Quinn is doing, right? We do love that. And then we can look back at this offense and say, yeah, man, if we can just hold on tight, right? Appreciate everybody for jumping in. I really appreciate you guys. The name is Law Nation, without hesitations nor deviations, independently over here speaking my mind. No one controls these thoughts over here, so there's no inside noise of saying, look, Law, don't talk bad about the Cowboys because it's time to talk good about them. It's the off season, right? And there's no one to say, hey, Law, only talk good about the Cowboys. You know, this is just my thoughts on it. That the Jones family must, M-U-S-T, stand up and get out of the way. Scoot. Will A, appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for jumping in. Will A says the only job Jerry Jones should have is signing checks. Yeah. But when you have that mindset to say to yourself, this is the team I've built, we have these type of questionings being brought up into this man's third year, Mike McCarthy, already being on the hot seat. Let me hear what they have to say.
Fowler with us today. RG3, when you hear those quotes from Jerry Jones, what's he saying?
Well, Greeny, he basically just told everybody that he loves Sean Payton, and it's an injustice that he's out there. That's part of the quote that he said as well. And that he likes Mike McCarthy. I mean, you got to do the math there. He's basically telling Mike McCarthy that if he doesn't get the Cowboys legitimately into the Super Bowl hunt this year, then he's going to right that injustice and bring Sean Payton to Big D. The Cowboys roster is more than capable of winning a Super Bowl. And another interesting thing he said was that the coaching staff is set for this year, and next year is an eternity in the football world. But I just feel like Jerry Jones could have easily quieted all the Sean Payton talk by basically saying Mike McCarthy is our coach and we stand behind him 100%. But he didn't do that, Greeny.
He definitely didn't do that. That is RG3 talking on that topic there. And I used this analogy before. It's like you with your lady, you with your boo thing. And y'all walking, you know, y'all having a good time. You're on a date probably, and you going to the movies, and you stop and slow her down just for a little bit and say, baby, you're gorgeous. But that one over there, ooh, oh my gosh, she's such a beautiful lady. although I'm with you, I don't know why she's alone by herself, right? Let me know, fellas, how that work out, right? You with your boo thing, you with your squeeze, your main one, the love of your life, supposedly. And you saying, baby, I love you. No, baby, I like you. I love her. Look how she sway when she walk. Gracefully. It seems as if, though, the ground got to ask permission. Can you step on her? And that is the problem. Jerry Jones is literally opening his mouth about Sean Payton. Now, my thing is, there's nothing wrong with having your hearts and desires on things that you really want. And I'll say, fellas or ladies that's watching, if you really want something, go out there and grab it and get it, and just don't waste what you have right now. A famous quote, don't spoil what you have by desiring the thing that you don't have, because at one point of time, the thing that you do have was something you dreamed for. Write that one down. Long for. So don't sully or spoil what you have, Jerry. You got you a coach that just won you 12 games, right? Didn't end the way you wanted it, right? Maybe, just maybe, if you go back and look at everything, you had a guy that was calling plays as relates to offense in 3 years. That's the length of time he been calling plays. And he wasn't prepared. Let me repeat, he wasn't prepared to call those plays or qualified to call those plays. We had a team that had 14 penalties, right? And even with the notion that the coach that you have on the team, he come out spilling the tea, saying the guys were nervous, right? That's one knock on Mike McCarthy. 2, he literally had a presser saying, yeah, I let the person who installed the plays call and do the plays. Meaning that if the house is on fire, I'm going to let him figure it out on how to put it out. I'm not finna give him any help. And you're sitting there like, come on. Defense figured things out in that 49ers game down the stretch. They started to slow things out. They got punched in the mouth quickly, but they started to slow the 49ers down. And one can argue, if you go back, and I'm not trying to put toothpaste back into the tube, but one of the cheap touchdowns that the 49ers were able to score on is because of your fumbling offense, right? Dak Prescott interception to Cedric Wilson. That was a really, really bad throw, right? Why would you even attempt to throw that type of play on 3rd and forever? I'm not crucifying Dak Prescott, by the way, but I'm also looking at the play design. 3rd and forever, you throw an underneath pass. It wasn't going to get a first down anyhow, right? And that pass was picked off. And then the very next play or such, the 49ers scored a cheap touchdown. The Cowboys got to be prepared the next time they are in the playoff. You can't have those type of performance. Flo says Sean Payton has definitely won more than 2 games in the playoff and lost more than once. Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. I love reading your comments here. Cedric, appreciate you. All right. Good morning to you as well, Cedric. Appreciate you. Totally agree, Law, as long as Jerry and his son are there, the Dallas will never win anything. I'm not going to use the operative word never. We've seen some crazy things happen in this world, right? On this dimension. Mike McCarthy should have never been hired. Terrible coach. Game has passed him by. Now, the Mike McCarthy plan, I'm not afraid to say when I'm wrong. I was banging on the table for Urban Meyer. Then second on that list was Lincoln Riley, and then maybe, just maybe, some other variations of coach. I never looked at Mike McCarthy as that guy, right? I couldn't stand Green Bay. But I did look at it after the Cowboys picked up Mike McCarthy, after I did all of my research and homework on it. I said, you know what? I was wrong. This dude is a pretty much a good guy, quarterback whisperer, and these sorts of things, right? And Dak Prescott, since Mike McCarthy been the coach or what have you, been putting up some good numbers. We just got injured. He got injured his first year. So we all agreed to give Mike McCarthy the quote-unquote mulligan for year one, right? Then year two, we said, okay, he got to prove it to us. Well, we went 12-5. I don't know what else to ask for this man. Super Bowl in his second year. That's what you guys wanted, right? Because every year the Cowboys have the unbelievable roster. Every year. Let me know if you guys ever seen an off season where the Cowboys didn't have a Super Bowl or bust from the major media. You can't find it. You can literally go to Google and type in, even when we went 5-11, 5-11, 5-11, the Cowboys roster is talented. The Cowboys just need one player to get over the hump. Oh, the Cowboys did this and the Cowboys did that. Every single year, the Cowboys are projected to go to the Super Bowl. Every single year, get up, first take, third take, your take, your mama, your cousin, Pookie, and Ray Ray take, Super Bowl or bust. Gary says Sean Payton is a carbon copy of Bill Parcells. Yeah. I don't say carbon. I think Bill Parcells was a better coach than Sean Payton, by the way. But I would tell you guys that Sean Payton is the type of coach that he would want control. And I don't think that the Jones family is willing to give up control. Yep. Verdi, appreciate you so much. And shout out to you, Sally Lawyer. Your hat is on the way. According to the timestamp, it will be there on Saturday. Cowboy Nation. So in order for us to understand the future, we got to look back at the past, right? So let me see if I can pull up the roster from last year from the Cowboys website and be sure we're going to pull up their depth chart and we're going to look at everything. And bear with me, Cowboy Nation. Here's the Cowboys depth chart right here and this is their current day roster too, or current day website. That's a better way to say it. And for $1 billion organization, them boys need to hurry up and update this. This is, I hate to talk down on my Cowboys.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Man, come on, man. Y'all got a webmaster that can go in here and delete some of these names and update this freaking website. It's a $1 billion organization, but neither here nor there. Shout out to you, B-Bird, before we go into any more details. Shout out to you. Sean Payton won't come here because he wants control that the Joneses won't give up. They want beta coaches, not like Jimmy and Bill. Let me hit that button right quick. Oh, yeah. I really appreciate you, B-Bird. Whew. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. B-Bird, you spoke the truth. All right, so let me help the website out. You guys can go to the website as well. And we're going to draw a line through this. Make the line a little fainter. Draw a line through this. And we're going to draw an X on this. A line through here. X through this. Okay. Who else we don't have anymore on this team? We don't have him anymore. And Is Todd Nisecki still on this team? Y'all let me know. Let me know. We helping out the website, by the way. We helping them out. Y'all let me know if Todd Nisecki is still on his team. All right, but neither here nor there. Cowboys, this is their depth chart right here. I think that the Cowboys will go with two quarterbacks. But I'm going to put a big question mark right here. Why? Because there's a chance and an opportunity for Will Fuller. Jarwin's gone. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. You're a real one. Jarwin is gone. All right, so we know for sure, Cowboy Nation, that Will Grier last season, believe it or not, according to most, had a fantastic preseason opening. And having a fantastic preseason for the Panthers is one thing, but having a fantastic preseason for the Cowboys would be everything, right? People would never, ever forget your name, because I'm quite sure that even the preseason games would have more views, hear me out, than most of some people regular season game through the season. So you will have people watching the preseason game. And show of hands, Cowboy Nation, if you guys feeling that Will Grier have a chance in the situation to outshine Cooper Rush. Y'all let me know. And I don't think that they have anybody else as it relates to like a project guy that they working out with for the Cowboys 53-man roster. So I really think that the Cowboys going to go with two quarterbacks, though, by the way. Let me see what y'all saying. That's our biggest problem. I feel you. Law, how's it going? How about them Cowboys? Let's see. To me, Kellen Moore isn't the problem with his play calling. He just needs to run the ball more. That's his only issue to me. This is from Frank. He gotta make some justifications. I feel you on that. But running the ball for running the ball's sake is a whole nother problem. Because we've seen too many 21 slams when you got the edge you can run on. But that's a story of a different day as well. So, with that being said, we put a question mark with Will Grier. We know that these guys are office furniture. They're not going anywhere. So, Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, they are there. They're not moving anywhere. I'm going to insert two names as it relates to the Cowboys. They're going with four. I believe they're going with four running backs. We're going to have to put in my opinion, Malik Davis. We're going to put in Malik Davis. We got to put in Malik Davis. Let me put in Malik. And that's super big right there. Let me make it small. Let's make it small right here. We're building the plane while it's in there. Come on. We're going to put in Malik Davis as one of the other options right here. Now, that's too small. You can't even see it. You have to have super sized eyes. Let's see. God dog it. About right here. Yeah. How about this? Let me just put in MD. That will save me some room right here. The medical doctor. It don't want to really. Here we go. Y'all can tell me I'm building that. Like, Law, what are you doing over here? Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Eras, MD. And the other running back that I believe that they're going to select is they're going to go with one fullback. And it's going to be Ryan Nall. So you got Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, Malik Davis, and Ryan Nall. I don't know if the other guy, the big fullback that we was high on last year, is making any strides. And he got all of training camp to change my mind. So this is early projections right here. So I think that it's going to be Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, Malik Davis. Check out Malik Davis, by the way, and Ryan Nall. I know some people saying, hell no, it's Ryan. So appreciate you guys. Reggie, no chance, Law. Let's give RG3 a shot. Why? Why give RG3 a shot? I appreciate you, Reggie. Let's pull up our. Oh my God. I know the Baylor. Shout to Baylor. Let's pull up RG3. Robert Griffin. Okay, good. Why would you want this? He didn't play no games last year. 14 attempts, 42 yards, and 2 interceptions. And 2019, 38 attempts, 225 yards, 2 interceptions, 1 tub. Okay? And then 2018, 6 attempts, 21. And I will show y'all some of this stuff, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, let's go to 2017. No play. 2016, 147 attempts, 886 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Okay. All right, let's go to 2015, no game. 2014, it seems like a common pattern that this guy throw more interceptions than touchdowns. 1,694 yards, 4 tubs, and 6 interceptions. All right, so I think his last time that he had anything that was good, usable, was 2013. 2013, 16 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 3,203 yards. I think 2012 was his best year. I like Robert Griffin. I love his storyline. I couldn't stand him when he played for the Washington team and he took us out of that game, win or go home or what have you. But this was his last great season or good season, 2012. How long ago that was? And I'm not beating you up, Reggie. You know I love you, Reggie, man, but I ain't beating you up, Reggie. I'm just saying. I would rather have. Let me pull up Cooper Rush. You know, I would rather have Cooper Rush. And don't say, hush, Law. No. I'd rather have, Cooper. Give me that 422 yards, 3 tubs, and 1 INT, 47 attempts. I'd rather have Cooper, But I feel you, though, Reggie. I really do, man. My ship done sailed on RG3. Thank you as well. Lamar, before you walk into someone's house, knock. Yeah, I appreciate that one. With the likes. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And I do know that you got to equate like who he was throwing to in a matter of circumstances. This could be a situation and scenario that he come back to Dallas, which is his home, and he shines, right? That could be an option. I recall when the Cowboys went and got Cunningham. I couldn't stand Randall Cunningham, but the Cowboys got him. And they said, come on, man. We seen some magic of what you did against us. But now you with us, Who remember that? And they was trying, but I just don't believe that the Cowboys should do that. But let's get back to this 53-man roster, and we're going to dive deep into the wide receivers. Okay? And that's always a tall task, dealing with the Cowboys with the wide receivers. Bam, here we go. And just for clean sake, we have no more Amari Cooper, right? No more Malik Turner. So, but we do have a CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is the guy, right? So he's the number 1 wide receiver. I don't know why I made that red there, but y'all bear with me. Bam, here we go. And we do have Simi, Noah Brown. Those are the 3 that made the depth chart last season. Looking into the 2022 season, the Cowboys' options at wide receiver, and of course we have Michael Gallup. Of course, I left out his name. I don't know why he was not on this depth chart. They need to, like I said, they need to update this depth chart. I don't see Gallup, but I guess he was hurt when they produced this. And this is on the Cowboys website, by the way. No shade at them. But we do have Gallup as our number 2 wide receiver. He would not be ready week 1. I don't want to see him week 1. Slowly integrate him into the system. And we do have James Washington. So let me just figure out a way that I can put their initials here so that everybody can be on the same page. So at wide receiver, MG. Then we have James Washington. Then we're going to have, hit enter, we're going to have Jalen, and put JT. JT. And guess what? We going with 6 wide receivers. We going with 6. Who do you guys feel would be that other person? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. Who would be that 6 wide receiver? It's way too early, but who would be that 6 wide receiver? Let me say Dennis Houston. You got T.J. Vasher. You got Ty Freifogel. You got Dontario Drummond. You got a lot of guys. Vasher or Drummond. Yeah, baby. This is where you really got to look into this thing. This is all or nothing. And then you got to contextualize the type of wide receivers that you got already. Let me blow this in. CD Lamb, short area quickness, can line up anywhere on the field, right? Simi Fehoko, a draft pick last season that I don't think that the Cowboys are willing to fold up the chairs on him because he is a 4-3 guy. MJ, 13, he's office furniture. He's not going anywhere. James Washington. You just got to say Washington, right? And then you got JT, Jalen Tolbert, who will be there, right? He will be there. He's office furniture for at least a year or 2 years or 3. At this spot, Cowboy Nation, I got my guy that I'm already going to put down, but I want to know who you guys got. Is it Dontario Drummond? Is it Freifogel? Freifogel. I messed up that name. That name was difficult. Definitely difficult. Definitely difficult. Definitely difficult. That name messed up my guy the other day. Sue definitely couldn't see definitely difficult. And that was difficult. Okay. All right, Cowboy Nation. Not to spoil you guys, I'm going to put TJ down here. JT and TJ. That's my 6 wide receivers. I'm rolling with these guys right now. And I'm praying that Dennis Houston, Brandon Smith, Jaquari Roberson, Dontario Drummond, and as well as Ty Freifogel can change my mind. But I need me a red zone threat. I need me a guy that's a 4-4 guy that I can line up inside, that can high point the ball and pull it out of the sky. Now, to be fair, the person that I got a short leash on, let me just highlight him. It'll be this guy right here. I would really want somebody to push Noah Brown up out of here. But Noah Brown done earned and gained a lot of favors. He did. He flat out did, Cowboy Nation. Noah Brown, that's Noah Brown. You know, he been here. He knows the system, right? And we go back to T.J. Vasher, of course. Look at the highlights there of Harper while I pull up the T.J. Vasher. I get it. A lot of people looking at T.J. And I seen, this is me out there in Oxnard, how they really, really put close attention on T.J. Vasher. They bubble wrapped this kid. They stashed him. Although he dropped the ball right there, he owed me like 15 to 20 push-ups. I think I yelled it out, man. Hey, man, you owe me some push-ups when he dropped that ball, by the way. They handled T.J. Vasher very delicate. And I'm quite sure they're going to utilize him. They should figure out a way to utilize him for the 2022. They should. That's the operative word. But back to this list right here. I want that guy. I want to create those mismatches. I do. All right, so let me know of your 6 or 7 wide receivers that you guys got on this list. And, of course, JT, TJ, and Noah Brown and Simi, all 4 of those guys that I just mentioned, they got to give me some special team play. They do. They can't be sitting around eating oodles and noodles. I want those guys to give me special team play. They got to. They still young. James Washington, maybe he's off of that list of us demanding special team play. CeeDee Lamb, I don't want to see CeeDee Lamb on special teams again. I don't. He got bigger food on the plate to eat. You know. And that's the reality of it. So should the Cowboys go grab somebody else, Cowboy Nation, y'all let me know. All right, so let's go down to the tight end worlds. Let's go to the tight end. Really appreciate everybody for jumping in. All right, so we still have Sprinkle still on this team, right? And you guys may not can see it, but they got Sean McEwen on the opposite end, and the screen is just not big enough so you can see Sean McEwen's name. But neither here nor there. I got the Cowboys going with 4 tight ends. In no particular order. You got Schultz. He's off his furniture. He's not going anywhere, right? You got Sean McEwen. Let me just type his name in since you guys can't see it. Sean. Let me put some respect on his man name. Capital S. And Sean, okay? And then we have, as my 4th tight end, Jake Ferguson. I believe that the Cowboys starting tight ends will be Dalton Schultz and Jake Ferguson. Sean McEwen as the 3rd tight end, and your 4th tight end will be Jeremy Sprinkle. Right? We got somebody with a rebuttal, right? John, let's see what you got here. I like your list. Let's see. He says Lamb, Gallup, Tolbert, Washington. Y'all got to say it like me. Washington, Brown, Drummond, Schultz, McEwen, Ferguson, Sprinkle, Zeke, Pollard. Rico is not playing this year. He's hurt. That's why I didn't bring up Dido. Rico's gone. He's hurt. And we gave him a mulligan last year. Hey, he's hurt, what have you. But I think that Malik Davis will outperform Hardy and anybody else that's trying to run the ball. People said, yeah, Cam says, appreciate you, Cam. He said, people, please stop hating on Schultz. Look, to be fair, this is not Schultz's problem. It's not. It's flat out not Schultz's problem on how the Cowboys operated and handled their affairs with this situation. It's not. It's not his fault. This is not his issue. This is not his situation and scenario that he was the problem. You know, it's not his.
All participants are muted.
From the 562, you're live.
What's the deal, Law? How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. You know what? You're a real one because I didn't even put you on mute, but you were just chilling there.
Oh, yeah, man. I know the program, so as soon as I hit mute on my button, so I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get this workout in.
Oh, okay. You working out right now, man. What you got for this 53 roster prediction, or what do you have for, like, the coaching stuff, man, that we was talking about earlier?
As far as the prediction of the roster, you know, the original set.
Okay.
But I just got one question for you on the defensive side.
Okay.
We played Natty, right? Week 2, right?
Week 2, yeah.
So, do you think our edge rushers will be able to beat Lyle Collins? He's on the right side. He's on the right side, the weakest side of the offensive line, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, I think Burrows is right-handed, so he's on the visible side of Burrows. And Burrow, he's another guy that I put in the mindset like a Tom Brady. He got a real quick release. So his release is real quick. So if he can see you coming, it really don't make any difference. I want somebody to put pressure on him from the blind side, and I think that if it's Sam Williams, if it's Dante Fowler, I think that he can do that.
Okay, so would you want to switch D-Law to the left side and have Sam Williams and maybe Parson blitz that right side?
That's a good point. D-Law can play both sides, but week 2, I want him to be comfortable where his spot at and just get to the quarterback. What we want primarily for this team is somebody creating pressure from the interior. I want to drive him up out of the pocket, and I want him to throw into that cloud cover that we do. Think of cover 3 as a zone scheme defense where you got guys sitting on routes, and if your guy can create pressure up front, that what made the Legion of Boom, playing up front, the up front, big Maybane and all of those other boys getting to the quarterback and allowing those long DBs to sit on routes, to jump those routes or what have you. And I think that that's the philosophy of Dan Quinn for this team as well.
Okay, I can dig it. Now, as far as the special team, I wouldn't want, like you said, I don't want to see the Lamb back there. I'd rather put maybe Simi Foko.
I gotta see him. I gotta see him at least do something on special team. As far as punt return or kickoff, I gotta see him at least do something.
Okay, I still keep Pollard on kickoff returns.
On kickoff return, yeah. I mean, you can still do that, And even with CeeDee Lamb, just like on situational situations, if I can say it in that way, like certain situations you can put Lamb out there, but not just as your casual every punt return guy, like they did with Cole Beasley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man. One more. Do you really think James Washington, let's say like
Washington.
You know what I'm saying? Like, will he really have a breakout season with us, or will he just fall in the middle of the pack?
The fan law would say he's going to have at least the Randall Cobb effect here, right? That's the fan in me. but the analytical person in me is like, man, based off of projections, if he can give us 40 catches, 600 some yards, that would be a plus. But I don't know, man. I got to at least see him one time in a Cowboys route concept and catching the ball before I give you any praises on James Washington.
Okay. Man, but yeah, man, that's all. I just wanted to keep it short and brief. I always listen to you when you go live.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for calling in, fam. Indeed, man. That's a good call from him, man. He jumped in while he's been waiting since I started the show, and I really appreciate him all the way, man, for jumping in and not saying anything. What I try to do is keep the phone lines open, and then we can get things going from there. Yeah, you guys like the the breakdown look that I was doing? We got some more people on hold. Y'all just hold tight. And let me rush through the offensive line, and then we'll pick up the next caller, right? Because I want to be able to – this is what we could do. We'll make it a 2-episode deal, whereas I do the offense today and then we do the defense tomorrow. How about that? Let's do it that way, Cowboy Nation. So let's stroll down a little bit and look at the offensive line. Let me see if I got it right here. And I got 9 offensive linemen, okay? And I'm going to go over the names right quick for you. Give me 1 second here. Tyron Smith, he's office furniture, right? Tyler Biotish, he ain't going nowhere. And this is no particular order, who started and what have you. Zach Martin, he's office furniture. He ain't going anywhere. Terrence Steele, he's there. Connor McGovern, regardless of what you say about Connor McGovern, he's that guy. Matt Farniok, he's a guy that's going to be here. They spoke good stuff about Matt. And Matt, well, let's go. And Josh Ball. Those are the 9 offensive linemen that we have for this particular team. Okay? All right, so, and of course, Tristan Hill is no longer on this team. I don't think you guys can even see that. Okay, yeah, you guys see it right here. Here we go. Tristan Hill, not even on this team, so let me just draw a line through this. Dang, it's a big old line. Yep, let me draw a little smaller line. Big old line. Bam. Yeah, he get him up out of there. So we going with 9 offensive linemen, Cowboy Nation. Let me know if anybody else can change my mind on the 9 offensive line, you know. And like I said, it's going to be Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biotish, Zach Martin, Terrence Steele, Connor McGovern, Matt Forniak, Matt Well Let's Go, and Joshua Ball. Those are my 9 offensive linemen. Let me know if you guys have others or different opinions of that nature. 580, what do you know?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Talk to me.
Good. Appreciate what you're doing. But I had a few offensive players that I was wondering if you were going to make it in. First of all is the fullback we brought in, Ryan Nall.
Right.
You think they brought him in to be part of the offense and maybe like goal line situations, not just beefing up the offensive line, but getting that extra? Because he's known for putting his nose in the hole, you know, and getting the block.
I mean, Nall is a real decent foot speed guy, and he got good hands. So I look at them using Nall just like they'd use Connor McGovern last year, but now it's going to be Nall who can give you some also H-back productivity. So he can't catch out of the backfield, and he got a little wiggle to him. I think that Nall in this system is going to work some good numbers for us. I know he got a bad rep in Chicagoland, but I think that he's going to be okay.
Yeah. And also, one of the guys I've been hearing about is this new undrafted free agent running back. I think his name's Stevenson, or out of Harvard.
Harvard. What's his name? Speller or something like that?
There's been some buzz. Yeah, he's been getting some extra reps, and I wonder if you think that that'll actually come to something, and he'll maybe take over the Rico Daddle, like developmental type running back role.
I'm more high on Malik Davis than the other kid. My thing is, the craziest part about running backs, Shamklin, that's his name. I murdered that man's name earlier.
Yeah, there you go.
Shamklin, you know. The running back role, you'll never know, because those are the guys that you see them, they make all of the jukes, they spin and everything. But when those lights come on and those pads are there, we will know more into those details. But I'm only looking at Malik Davis for what he did in college, what have you, at his small time there, and I'm looking at Ryan Nall from what he did in Chicagoland. But, yeah, if Shamklin can do something for us, then shoot, lo and behold, let him do it. But I really think that Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard is going to be those two guys at this in this rodeo.
Yes, sir. And the last one I had was about T.J. Vasher. I think he might be the one that they are going to use for that slot guy with speed in the end zone because, I mean, he's 6'6".
Right.
You know, he's got the largest catch radius, and if you could get him going and have him as that red zone threat, that might be the best option that you have now because, I mean, that's a big body.
Big body. I'm looking at flag routes. I'm looking at, I was sitting him on a vert up inside the middle, you know, on a stem route. I just want this guy to at least garner the attention of two. And I want somebody to put a smaller nickel corner on him, right? That means, okay, when I see that small nickel, just go to him. If they put a bigger linebacker on him, send him on a vert. I want Kellen Moore to utilize his weapons and his targets like that.
Yes, sir. I think that he's got plenty to work with. It's just you got to put it together. If you look at this team, we're talking about the bottom of the roster, and we're talking about people that, you know, have playmaking ability and could go elsewhere. So I think if Kellen Moore does it right, we got a lot to build on. We're still a young team if you think about it.
Man, we are. We're super young. Similac. Wet behind the ears, y'all. Yep.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, thank you for your time. I love what you do.
I appreciate you for calling in. You have a good day.
You too, sir.
Better tomorrow. I love it. Boy, I love it. Boy, rapid fire type of grooves. All right, so you guys get what I'm saying. And TJ Vasher, do he round his route sometimes? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is he, what's this guy? I want to say Marquise. Is it Marquise Colston? What was the guy named for the Saints for many of years? He was pretty good. I'm not even talking about Graham or what have you. I'm talking about, is it Marquise? I forgot his name, Cowboy Nation. But you got to just start utilizing your mismatches. Even if you use him like, I've seen somebody use a comp that was really comparable. Is it Plexico Burris? If he can do some Plexico Burris type of routes, I will be okay with him. You know, Plexico Burris. Yeah. I would like to see him being utilized in those ways, in those fashions, right? And we knew that Eli Manning would drop back, close his eyes, and say, for Allah, and throw it in Plexico Burris way, and he'll come down with the ball. All right, and speaking of that, we got Coach Marv in the house, man. What's good, man? You live?
Hey, Coach. Hey, Law. How you doing, man? It's Coach Marv, man. I hear you talking about the offensive roster for the 53. Mm-hmm. I wish you were talking about defense. I think the biggest battle is going to be the defense.
Man, I looked down at that defense, Coach, and I said, I'll be here until 3 o'clock because there's a lot of stuff that we had to digest. Yeah. You know,
I'll let you tomorrow on that, but let's go in this offense. We're going to have enough Law. We're going to carry at least 10 to 11 offensive linemen. You're not going to go in the NFL season with 9. You're only going to activate 8. But you're going to have at least 10 to 11 going to make your team. So you're probably going to have one of those centers that's going to make your team. You know you have a guy that can play center, but I think they want a developmental center. So you the guy out of BYU or the guy out of Boston College probably would make your team at center. So that would add one line. That would add one. And you may be looking for one of these other guys in this camp if they do well to be able to bring in there to be another tackle.
Well, let me ask you this, and this is how crazy this game is, Coach. So that means you're going to go with what? 5 wide receivers or 6? 4 tight ends or 3? Or you going to go with 9 D-line?
You'll go with less wide receivers. You'll go with less wide receivers because they're easy to replace than getting quality offensive linemen. So you think offensive lineman, you can't find no other offensive lineman if you have to go out there and get one. But you can find a 4th or 5th wide receiver somewhere out there in the free agent market. But you ain't gonna find. It's hard to find linemen if you let linemen go to even come in and do anything. So you keep the bigger guys. I don't think, but you know, that's the next point I want to get to is receiver. I think man, Dallas has done. Let's think about the history of Dallas. Have done very good at receivers. Miles Austin was what? A late round draft pick. Clayton was a late round draft pick. Where was Cole Beasley drafted at?
Undrafted. He was just walk on.
Undrafted.
Yeah.
Cedric Wilson.
Sam Hurd.
Cedric Wilson that just left here was a 6 or 7 round draft pick. So when we worried about receiver, our history shows that we have taken undrafted guys and late draft picks, and they have become very productive. So if that's not in the recent history that has happened. So that's why I say wide receiver is not that big of a issue to say, oh, man, we got to have Cole Beasley, Clayton, Miles Austin. The list goes on and on of guys that were later picks that turn out that left here in free agency or did some very good work here. So I think we'll be okay when you're talking about that 3rd or 4th wide receiver. Even though the guy that went from the other guy that left here, I think he went to Arizona. He was so I think the Cowboys have had a history of doing good with when you talk about that third or fourth wide receiver coming in and doing some very good work here. But I think, like I said, they'll carry extra offensive linemen. I think they may go a little lacquer in the running back position. I really feel like Rick Olsen, the guy from last year, the fullback they had from last year, I think he was a great special teams guy. I just think he got caught up in the show. So I want to see how he does. I think Nick Ralston.
Nick Ralston, the guy that pulled the trucks. Yeah, Ralston.
Yeah, he did okay with he did very well with special teams, and he actually played in a couple of games early in special teams. He got a couple of tackles, so he did very well. So
yeah, and the only thing is Ryan Nall. He is also a punt return, kickoff return guy, and he plays
so that's
special
where
teams.
you're gonna have that battle.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard battle. Yeah.
I think that the special teams coach is going to really have a lot of the guys that they're picked up in draft as well as undrafted free agents. The battle in special teams is going to be a battle because you got a lot of athletes, and these guys go out there hungry. So he's going to have his pick of the litter there. Where I want to see in our wide receiver room is this: and think about it like this, Long. And this may happen on the defensive side, too. We've been holding on to special teams, what we call special team stars. One is the receiver, Noah Brown.
Yep, and
right?
CJ.
One is the cornerback, and the cornerback we've been holding on. But if we want to get better with the back end of our roster, if one of these other guys that can really give us more on the defensive end or in the receiving corps, if they are put in there and they are better in the receiving corps and can still give us the same thing as special teams, that should be thought about. So if we get a receiver that can, really give us more production than Noah Brown and give us just about the same as in with special teams, let's go with the guy that can maybe develop into a better receiver. You know what I'm saying? Or
if you do that, then the Cowboys got to look into the mirror and say, all right, Noah, we really like you, man, but we feel that we feel that Jalen Tolbert can do the same thing that you're doing on special teams, plus give us productivity on the field, and we got to give Dennis Houston. They really, really like Dennis Houston down there on special teams. This is from inside resources from Todd Archer.
So
they really Todd Archer really said that they really, really like Dennis Houston.
And it may not be much money you're saving, but when you're talking about the cornerback that we're keeping on special teams, he's not making minimum because he's probably making veteran minimum now.
Right.
So if you can save, because you got to understand about the roster. On the back end of a roster, you can't have no pet peeves on the back end. Now, that may be in the middle, what you call middle of the roster guys or top of the roster guys, but on the back end of the roster, you can't have no buddies because you can miss out on some talent because everything that's going to be battling for that position is probably going to be getting paid the same or less. So there's no need to have no buddy there where you might can miss out on a guy that can be not only just a backup player but a potential starter. And that's where you really want to get your back in the roster. You want to have more potential starters in a couple of years, and you say that these guys can probably start and I can win a game with them. That's where you want to build your back end of the roster. So that's holding on to guys, and especially if you're held a guy for 2 or 3 years. You know what they are. Noah Brown, you know what he's going to be. There's no difference. He's not going to change. Yeah. And if you're holding on for special teams, you could get another guy here that can do the same thing in special teams, and in 2 years, he probably could be a player.
And
There's a guy
that's
been around
why
here for 4 years.
that's why I got this team going with five linebackers. I really do. I think that
that's tough to go with 5 linebackers, Law, because you got one guy coming off of a major injury. You still don't know how he's going to be because he never had this type of injury. And we always say, yeah, he's going to come out. Well, he never had this injury, and his speed and mobility has always been his thing. So it ain't been physicality. So he's hurting one thing that he does well. So we got to see how he's going to come back from that. Mm-hmm. Then you have LVE, which sometimes you have a health issue, but he hadn't had no health issue then. Now you're really, if you get any injuries there, and one of the linebackers you're going to keep on this roster, you know he ain't going to be ready for 10 weeks.
Right. You can really put him on that pulp thing, and it don't count. I feel you what you said, but let me list out these names, and let me know how we gonna find the math to add an extra guy in there. 9 defensive linemen. I'm gonna say these names, and I'm not gonna show it to anyone, but I'm just gonna say these names, so y'all gonna have to write it down in the comment box. D. Law, you got that? Gallimore, Osa, D.A., Dante Fowler, Carlos Watkins, Sam Williams, John Ridgway, Quentin Bohanna. Those are the 9. If you go with 10, you will have to insert Tristan Hill. How can you find room for Tristan Hill? I think that he's going to be the hard cut. All right? Now, hear me out. Hear me out. There's 9 defensive linemen. So who would you?
Right?
I got Osa in there. Yeah, Osa and D.A.
Ghostin. Okay.
Yeah. Got them guys in there. So Tristan Hill, he's on the outside looking in, unless you want to say to yourself, Quentin Bohanna, I know we drafted you, but we just feel that Tristan Hill is going to be a better situation for you.
I can tell you what.
Who they willing to cut?
I can tell you who, and he's undoubtedly better than this guy, and his short film will show it as well. Tristan Hill is better than Carlos Watson, by far. Just don't get enamored about an NFL interception. He is. Watch the film. Like I said, film doesn't lie. If Tristan Hill is there, available during training camp, and healthy during training camp, he will beat out Carlos Watson. I have no doubt in my mind that would happen. The only reason that he didn't before, because remember, Tristan Hill didn't practice none all the training camp. He didn't start really practicing until week 4 or 5, and then he came back week 7 or 8.
That's a strong acclamation there, Coach. Do Tristan Hill?
I would tell you this.
Talk to me.
Watch the film side by side when they played. Watching is a side jumper, and when they and I've been and this crazy thing about when I've been watching back and going back and watching the San Francisco 49er game and went back over that. I ain't worried about nobody else in the defensive line but Carlos Watson. He came back to the see, man. I think sometimes we see flash plays and we like, oh man, they did so well. But again, when you talking about quality defensive linemen in this league, quality defensive linemen in this league, right? Don't sign contracts for $1 or $2 million 2 years in a row. That means the league know who you are.
So you're saying that you, because I think this is my thoughts on it. I don't think that Tristan, you know how Brian Broader said sponsors in the building. I don't think that Tristan Hill got any sponsors.
I think he got a sponsor because Dan Quinn can see him play. Dan Quinn know he play. I trust Dan Quinn. Like I said, Law, I put my coach thing. Watch the film play after play, and then you tell me about Tristan Hill.
Yeah, you gonna probably point out that Raiders
Don't
game.
Don't listen to what the pundits say.
He had a real good Raiders game.
Watch the film play after the play.
Yeah. He had a real good Raiders game.
Watch the film play after play.
Yeah.
And then say, for his short period of time there, we talking about he played, I think, 7 games this year.
Yeah.
And he probably played 20% of the snaps. Check his stats out and prorate them again, like I said yesterday. And you be like, wow. That is a lot of stats for a guy that they only played 7 games and was on a rotation where he probably played 15 plays a game.
No, I think I did a film assessment on Tristan Hill last season, and I think the world of Tristan Hill as it relates to what Mike McCarthy, not Mike McCarthy, but Dan Quinn can do. But it got to be up to Tristan Hill whether or not he's going to keep that same energy through training camp, through Oxnard or what have you, and then getting out there and earning his keep.
Training camp.
Huh?
If Tristan Hill is here a whole training camp, right? And if they are real, I have no problem with Tristan Hill going to play better than Carlos Watson.
Okay. Right. Well, we'll be waiting to see.
Matter of fact, I'll put my thing on it. If they put him in training camp, there's no problem with that. There ain't but one person, and you ain't hit. I forgot you people hit the report. There ain't but one person in the interior that gave Mr. Tyler Smith. They said it and they tried to glass over it. There ain't but one person gave Mr. Tyler Smith problems in the interior doing this. What name? And that was Tristan Hill.
Man, so, look, Tristan. We've been talking about this dude because I want Tristan to be good because they done picked him up over Juan Thornhill. You know how I felt about Juan Thornhill, so he gonna have to show us something. But according to most, man, it's gonna boil down to
everybody else.
Yeah,
I can't give the vanilla gorilla. I got to see him in a professional thing. I think Bohanna played better than what people say that he played last year. But if you coming down to Carlos Watson, if you watch the film, man, you talking about we trying to be more of a physical style of defense and aggressive. You can't tell me you want Carlos Watson over Tristan Hill. It
literally came down.
Nothing about Carlos Watson that's physical.
It literally came down to this situation right here. Justin Hamilton, shout out to him, he's from Natchez, Mississippi last year. It came down to Justin Hamilton, Bohanna, Carlos Watkins, Tristan Hill. And as far as his 53, I think it's only 46-day active roster, what have you. They had a lot. They had Tristan Hill as healthy stretches sometimes, right? I'm going to have to look it up again, and he was a healthy stretch on some of those games.
I think every game Tristan Hill was active, he played.
Yeah, we'll find out, man, Coach. I really appreciate you, man.
Everything when Tristan Hill got back, he played, even though the only one he didn't play was after the Raider game, and he got suspended.
Yeah,
and I think that was Coach. It wasn't 1 or 2 games suspension. Matter of fact, wasn't it a 2?
Let me pull up this information again because Coach, you open up a can of worms on good old Tristan Hill.
I'm just saying. I know sometimes we glaze because they glaze over film because they get hooked on it. Because as I said yesterday, and I hate to keep bragging on this, if you watch film and you really watch it, there's nowhere in the world nobody. I remember you did the film 2 years ago, and this is before we started talking much on your show. But I remember you did a film when you did all of Jalen Smith tackles.
Right.
If you would have put that same thing on LVE, you would have never done nothing by Jalen Smith. You would even have went there.
Yeah.
You would have stopped right there and said, you know something? Because there was a YouTuber, a guy, right, that did do that. He did he did a thing on Jalen, and then he did a thing on LVE, and it was worse.
The thing is, I'm gonna say this again. The thing is with Jalen, it's not his play; it was his mind. You know, they just didn't like Jalen, his mind. They didn't like his mind, his temperaments. And they decided to eat.
Well, you know, I mean,
they decided to eat 7 million. You know, and we eat the 7 million.
And you talking about the sponsors too. You know,
sponsors.
You know, and it's hard and this it's been known here, and it's known once guys get a contract, it's hard for them to live up to some of the unrealistic expectations that some of the people put on them. Because then, as soon as the guy get a contract, they're expected to do way above more of what they had done before. But that's unrealistic. And I'm not saying Jalen played well, but I guess, but the first round draft pick should get the same expectations as guys that got contracts.
Yeah, but right now, man,
I think especially with your first round draft pick, you're not making nosebleed money. But like I said, if you look at if they play again, I'm gonna say again about the defensive line. If they play this whole, and when this start happening, Law, I want you to say, Coach Marv, you must see the season of Tristan Hill. I'm telling you, if they play this whole summer and Tristan Hill is healthy, because just remember, Tristan Hill was the best guy in practice 2 years ago before he hurt his knee in training camp. Do we remember that?
Yeah, but
and he came in the first part of the year. He was playing well till he hurt his knee.
I think that the thing is with Tristan Hill, and I'm not trying to paint him into a corner, is that I think that his workout regimen is not the same as the other guys' willing determination, and that just could be just from my observation. Tristan Hill, I'm not saying that he's a sloth. He's not a guy that plays through the echoes of the whistle, because we know he got a quick release and get off. But what I'm trying to do now, believe it or not, Coach, is I want to move Navell Gallimore over to that big side. You know what I'm saying? And let them get some of that one technique in and keep Osa at 3. Gallimore. And I think that's the situation.
Gallimore being a 3. No, Gallimore is not a 3.
But I want him to play down inside as that 3 tech and or play down at the 1 tech, I meant to say, because he's such a big dude. That's what he's gonna be. He's such a big dude.
That's why he gained the weight.
And I think that also, Coach. I think that also, Coach, that Tristan Hill, they got him somewhere in between a tweener as well, playing a 3 and a 1, and Carlos. It's a straight up 1. He don't play the 3, so that could be the problem there as well, Coach.
I mean, I'm just saying, this is going to pan out. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. We talk about Tristan Hill. What really impressed us about Carlos Watson? Let's take the interception out, because I think that's what gets blind in our mind. Just look at, did he have any sacks?
Yeah, 1 sack. He had 16 stops and what have you, and 5 hurries.
16 stops and 5 hurries.
Right, and 1 INT.
And he probably played the same amount of time. So how, compared to the guy that played beside him, they probably played the same amount of time. And Osa doubled up or tripled his stats, didn't he?
Yeah, but Osa, those 2 different spots though, Coach. Right, 3 tech versus 1 tech.
I mean, yeah, that's one. And then you look at the rest of the guys. Neville Gallimore probably close to his stats, and he only played half the game.
Right. But remember, they had Gallimore playing at that 3 tech last season. He didn't really give you that much.
Gallimore started more Gallimore played more at the 1 than he played at the 3. When the Redskins game, when he ran over the center, he was at the 1.
Right, but they rotate him.
Best thing when he was at the 1.
I look at it like this: Watson had his best season. Watson had his best season last year. Carlos Watkins, and I even said when the Cowboys went and got that contract for him, like to say, okay, they're gonna. I said we could have found somebody else that's better. That's why I was banging on the table for Sue or Hakeem Hicks or what have you, or Larry.
What Carlos Watson signed for? They signed him early because
they signed him early. It was one of those cover-up signings. So it's kind of like
trying to make sure you got your roster before you go to the draft.
Big facts, and nothing gives Stephen Jones a hard on like when these guys sign these little cheap deals. So that's what's really impressing for Stephen Jones for LVE to sign that little cheap contract, for Watkins to sign that little cheap contract.
Because that's all they had. Law.
Right.
Law. Don't get that Stephen Jones did, and then don't get that these guys gave the Cowboys a discount. That's all they had, and their agent told them, say, you might well sign this deal and have a better season, because the market for what you've done, when you got people like Anthony Barr and other people like Sue that's out there that had much better seasons, what you expect those guys are going to get if they would have stayed out there? They would have never got signed. So they had to take those $1 or $2 million deals, because you got some guys out there still out there that play much better that don't have no contract. So if LVE and Carlos Watson were still out there now, they'll probably go unemployed for the whole year.
Until the injury happened, right? But that's the Jones way, though. We preaching, we speaking on the same thing. Those signings are signings where the Jones family can say, "Yeah, man, we did sign some people. We signed our own." And I believe he even brought that up in the presser. He said, "Yeah, by Randy Gregory being gone, we did make these signings," and then he listed out all of those names, and he was saying like 2 for the price of 1 or 3. He said literally 3 for the price of 1. So that's just how it goes, Coach. Man, I really appreciate you for calling in, Coach.
But like I said, Law, the battles again. We got to be careful about holding on guys into that bottom roster because we like them. This is where the Cowboys have to be really diligent. The Fahokos, the people of this nature at the bottom roster, because you got guys that are undrafted free agents that are just as good or better, and you can see more potential growth in them than the guy that you have. Don't hold on to a guy because you feel like, oh, he's one of our guys. The bottom end of the roster is really a changeover type of play, and we can get a guy on that back end of the roster that can potentially grow to better than what we see these guys have been here, and we see their growth is not going to go as far. So that's where you got to really look at the long run for players when you're talking about that back end, than trying to hold on to guys for sentimental reasons.
No doubt. I appreciate you so much, Coach. Appreciate you calling in.
All right, Law. Have a good one, brother.
It's a good call from Coach Marv. Good coach right there. So we're gonna write down Tristan Hill as a guy that need to step up for this season. And we were saying this before the draft. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Is that, man, we got too many 3-techs, right? We got a lot. Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, play 3-tech. Where's our ones? And so far in this roster, we have Quentin Bowe, Jonathan Ridgway, and, of course, Carlos Watkins as that, you want to say true 1-tech, but as that 1-tech. And I truly believe that the Cowboys, the way – and I'm giving – let's be fair, I'm giving Dan Quinn a lot of grace. A lot of grace at defense, because we went from the 28th or the 30th ranked defense all the way down to the 12th. Could the defense be better? Yes. Can we find little areas that this defense can improve on? Yes. But I think that there's a rope, a string on Tristan Hill, and I don't know if he got a long one or a short one, but I guarantee you he can't mess up, because any of these guys, I think that Carlos Watkins' contract, it makes Stephen Jones blush, and as well as with Dorrance Armstrong, his contract is pretty much a good one for the Cowboys organization to bang on the table with. John Ridgway and Quentin Bohanna, those guys are pretty much playing for free as far as money. So it's one of those things. I really want Tristan Hill to succeed, by the way. I think the world of Tristan Hill, right? I want him to, because it would at least remove some of the psyche out of our mind of us passing up on multiple other players that we know for sure been making an impact. And the knock on Tristan Hill was, even when he drafted him, He wasn't even the starter there. He was a guy that was a rotational piece. He was a guy that was coming off of the bench, and then also he was a guy that had some warts or what have you. So we'll find out down the line of whether or not Tristan Hill can at least cover some ground on that. Big Sarge says one tech will be Gallimore, Ridgeway, and Bo if he's surviving and outplaying Tristan Hill. Yep. Let's do this. I'm not going to do the projection yet until tomorrow or later on tonight. I think tonight we will have my brother. We will do the Brothers podcast tonight. But one thing I really would like to say, my starting lineup, week 1, as far as that defensive front, hear me out. It could be Sam Williams, Gallimore, Osa, and D-Law. Those could be my starting front 4, believe it or not. I believe if you sprinkle in not just mama's cooking, but the political aspect of it, political football, right? Because you got to make the justifications of the money spent or what have you. They may go with Dante Fowler, Gallimore, Osa, Law. But let's play around with this situation, Cowboy Nation. Since that's the 4 that's really easy to talk about. And I look at these guys, they shouldn't be like set in stone of what these guys should look like as it relates to their front. But let's say DA, let's create our combinations. Dorrance Armstrong, right? Carlos Watkins, Osa, Law. I think Law is not going to move out of that thing, right? As all the combinations, you're going to keep Law on that front 4. So let me think of another combination. Let me go with Coach Marv combination. And I should have asked him this while we was on the phone. This would probably be Coach Marv combo. And if you can, type it in the chat, Coach Marv. Dorrance Armstrong, Tristan Hill, Osa, Law, or is it Dorrance Armstrong, Tristan Hill, Gallimore, Law? Or is it situation? See, there's so many, like Gallimore, by him being able to play 3 and 1, creates a situation whereas you literally can have Fowler. I think Fowler was going to beat out Dorrance Armstrong, by the way. So it's weird me saying DA over Fowler. But Fowler, man, we need to really need to get into this. Fowler, Hill, Osa, or Fowler, Gallimore, Hill. It can literally be that. Fowler, Gallimore, Hill. Look how crazy this is. Fowler, Gallimore, Hill, Law. All of those lineups, man. Somebody said those lineups are really bad. Sarge says Fowler, Osa, D-Law, Gallimore. In no particular order, I see you. Keith says Law. Oh, somebody called in? Let me see who's in there. If you call in, call back. I didn't know if somebody called in. We got a couple more minutes. I got a meeting that I had to be at 2. It won't take me long to put on my jacket and everything, get up out of here. Those names are not scary at all, right? Because I know what you guys wanted. Y'all wanted Randy Gregory, Big Jordan Davis, right? But he's gone, right? Gallimore and Law, that would have been a good combination right there, right? I really think that Ridgeway and Big Bo, those guys really, really, really going to have an unbelievable training camp for them to beat out Gallup Moore or Carlos Watkins or Tristan Hill for that spot. Oh my goodness. Tariq says, I don't care who the lineup is, can they stop the run and get to the quarterback? I think we was ranked 22nd or 24th against the run. You know, you guys can charge me up with that. I think we were ranked somewhere in that area last year. That is an area that we must improve on, right? Wyatt was right there. Yep. Cedric said, where do you see Chauncey Law? By me breaking this down, there's going to have to be packages. It got to be. On your third down package, I can see Law being kicked inside, right? I can see Parsons on the front. So it will be, look at this package right here. I'm trying to get in my mind. Third down, you can literally have Sam, Fowler, Law, and Parsons as your third down package. First down package, you can literally have run stopping package, right? You pass on first down, first and second down. You can have Ridgeway. You can have, I'm trying to figure out this thing. It's so many packages, baby. When you don't have like a starter that you literally say you ain't putting him off the field or you're not getting him off the field. We got so many guys that's pretty much in the same level. So I don't think that I can see Chauncey starting. Not this year, but maybe next year. Uncle Charles, man, what's good?
Man, what's up? What's up, Long? What's happening, player?
Oh, all is well. I can't complain.
Man, let me tell you something. You've been doing one hell of a job, man, for the Cowboy Nation. And as I always say, man, we thank you, bro. And we love your family, man. And you're doing a hell of a job. Let me just say this, man, to all the Cowboy fans out there, sisters and brothers, of course. Let me explain something to you. What have caused us to disdain from being a champion? A lot of things plays into you not reaching the top. You know, some people can go here, some people can go middle, some people can go high. It's calling what's inside that person. Mm-hmm. What's inside this person? It's plenty of money, plenty of fame, plenty of style. We got it all, but we don't have a championship. Mm-hmm. We're starving for the championship. We're starving. Let me explain something to you. Go 3 days without having some meat and see how hungry your ass be. You will eat anything. In fact, you'll eat people if you're hungry enough. So this is what we have to do to feel about the season. Yeah, we got young cats in there. And I'm going to tell you this, by the way, I'm going to throw this in the pot. I really still believe we need a veteran receiver to come in to bring that veteran presence to this young receiver. Because let me tell you something. I don't give a damn how young you is. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing like old school. I'll tell you right now. Let me say this to the listening public. Mm-hmm. You know, going to the grocery store and a lot of people love ice cream. Well, back in the day, people was poor. And we wanted ice cream as kids. No, we can. You know when we got ice cream? When it snowed. That's once a year. We supposed to go back there and get that foot tub and wash it out back there. Wash it out real good. Go give me some vanilla extract and some corn syrup. And that was your ice cream. Let me say this. Let me say something. If you think times ain't changed, back then we used to leave our door. My dad used to go to work and the door be open. He'd be working 8 hours and come right back through that same door. Leave your door open if you want to. And you'll be in the bed. Somebody laying in the bed with you saying, what we're going to eat this morning. And you go right ahead on with it. We need a championship, man. This is solidify our history. Jerry Jones is 70-something years old. Mm-hmm. What are you waiting on, Jerry? God has blessed Jerry with extra years because you only promised 70 years seven scores and 10. You was only supposed to be given 70 years. God have blessed Jerry with more than that.
More.
So what are we doing, Jerry? What are we doing? Because you're not a young man anymore. You know, Jerry used to put his clothes on and he looked young. Now Jerry can put some new clothes on and he look wrinkled because he's old. It's what it is. We want a championship. We should not settle for nothing less. And I'm going to say this, and I want people out here, when you get ready, because I know that Law got to go and take care of some business. Be careful where you go out here, y'all. We got high prices out here. We can't afford things. And we have to do what you got to do and take your money, don't spend on them you don't supposed to, and feed your family. I just went to the grocery the other day, and I seen a guy outside on the bleachers out there, outside the store, head back, eyes rolling in the head, he knocked out sleep. Flies flying in and out his mouth like they're at the damn airport. Man, wake up, dude, where the hell you at? So be careful out there, Cowboy Nation. Be careful where you go, because a lot of shooting out here, a lot of people getting killed for no reason at all. And we need to love one another, man. And we need to love our Cowboys. Support our Cowboys, win, lose, or draw. And that's all I got to say, player.
Appreciate you, Uncle Charles, man. The one and only, man, Uncle Charles, man. We love you, man. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. And Jerry gonna get him.
I want me some glory hole.
All right, man. We're gonna take these two calls,
the
man.
The conference has been locked.
All right, so we got the 260 Fort Wayne in the house, man. What's good, man? 260.
Hey, what's good, Law?
No, all is well. I can't complain.
Hey, so first of all, I got a question for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think Micah Parsons can get 20 sacks this year?
If he put his mind to it, yeah, he can get 20 of them. He got 13 or 14 sacks on part-time edge rushing. So I don't want him, believe it or not, I don't even want him to get 20 sacks. I want him to still be moved around as a chess piece and create and rip havoc wherever he's at on the field. But just being an isolated edge rusher, I don't even want that for him. I think that we're better by him being everywhere on the field. But what's your thoughts on that?
Got it. So my thoughts are that, like, Micah Parsons, they said that he's going to rush the passer less this year is what I'm hearing.
That's what I want them to say. You know, I don't want them to give away all of the secrets, right? I want them to play some Jedi mind trickery out there and say, yeah, man, he's going to not rush the quarterback at all, you know, or he's going to play some DB. I want them to throw him around, throw all of the news around so that week one come around, you see number 11 shooting through the A gap or number 11 in the flats, covering the flats. So, yeah. That's how I look at it.
Okay. So, yeah, the another thing that I have a thought of is that what do you think about the number 3 receiver spot this year, Law?
Ooh-wee. Jeez. You threw that one at me. So you got Lamb 1, Washington, who's been the third or fourth target ever in Steelers land. I would rather for them to have Lamb 1, Jalen Tolbert number 2, and like Ripley's Believe It or Not, I want Simi Fehoko to fight to be the number 3 wide receiver on this team.
Got it. So what about Michael Gallup?
When Gallup come back off of injury, is going to think everything is going to bump down. And this is my thoughts. Don't shank me with the butter knife, Cowboy Nation. It's literally going to be Lamb 1, Gallup 2, Jalen Tolbert by the time Gallup come back should solidify his role on his team, and he will be the third option there.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's another question I have. So
you got it. You go. You got it.
There's been a lot of talk about our offensive line and like what we need to do to fix it. Like my thought is like, at what point do we start to address the Tyron Smith thing? Because Tyron Smith is getting a little older.
Yeah. I hope that they addressed it this year. I think that Tyler Smith could be the quote-unquote future left tackle. They're just not saying it such right now. They got him at guard, which is, okay, starting off his rookie year. there's some point of time this season, and I'm not wishing this on him, Tyron Smith is going to go down. I think for right now, they're going to maybe insert Matt Walesko there, but Ball have to step up. So those 3 spots right there will be somewhere, some shape, form, or fashion, your future left tackle. Out of Ball, Matt Walesko, or Tyler Smith.
Got it. So what's your thought on the Cowboys this season, Law? Like, what's the most pressing need that the Cowboys still have to address?
Wide receiver, in my opinion, we have to wait and see what this offensive line is going to look like. And then the other thing would be just what I just said earlier, the defensive front. And that's including like the defensive edge and interior and linebackers. I think that we have to see that once again, can these guys stop the run? Everything else, I think that they will still be okay at.
So there's been some talk about Ndamukong Suh possibly going to Dallas, or at least rumors that they would try and pursue him. Like, do you think that would be a good fit for the Cowboys as far as like not only as far as like a need, but also like a scheme fit for Suh?
It would be too much like right for us to get somebody like Suh, who plays pretty much every game unless he's suspended. I think the world of Suh too. He had, like I said, last season he had 6 sacks. Even that's a long 2. He had 6 sacks. 6 sacks before that, 5 sacks the year before that. So that's consistently giving you 5 to 6 sacks a season from the interior, which the last person we had to give us close to those numbers from the interior, his name was Jason Hatchard. We never had nobody to consistently give us north of 5 sacks from the interior.
Right.
So we need somebody like him. Yeah, that'll be nice.
You're saying that so basically what you're saying is that they should get him, but you don't think they will.
I don't think that they will pull the trigger on that. I think that Suh would probably suit up in the Rams again, or he might go over there to the Vegas Raiders or someone. I think he's going to go to one of those teams.
See, it wouldn't be. I mean, he wouldn't be all that expensive. Like, I think you can get him for fairly cheap, to be honest.
Being big facts, I think you can get Anthony Barr right now for cheap, but the Cowboys got a mind that's already set in stone.
Wait, from the Vikings?
Yeah, I think you get Anthony Barr for cheap right now. He's been on the market for so long, he can't be demanded for that much money at 31 years of age.
Yeah, I think Kendricks is playing his spot now, right?
Yeah, I think he is. I think Kendrick is playing that spot, and they went and got some guys.
Inside linebacker.
Yeah. Yeah.
But but those are all my thoughts, Law. Just a quick summary of like what you think like we should do to like improve our team.
Man, dude, you had some rapid fire, man. I appreciate you for calling in, fam.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man. Good call from him. By the way, good call from him. Let me see. Hold on. I feel I muted everything. Give me 1 second here. Let me give this man a round of applause. Those were some good questions there. And don't hold my... I'm not, and here's the thing, I'm not out on James Washington, but I'm like this. Before I anoint or crown James Washington to even be like Gallup, I got to at least see him catch. Y'all literally know this, that I never seen him catch a ball in a Cowboys uniform. So I would rather lean on the aspect of Jalen Tolbert from what he did in college versus me thinking highly of James Washington at this point. Now, I think that James could be the quote-unquote number 2 wide receiver for week 1, week 2, what have you. But for right now, give me the lineup that I gave earlier so that we can keep things moving. I got the 214, man. You live.
Law Nation.
Yeah, what's good? Talk to me.
Man, what's happening, man? Man, I really just called in just to show you some love. And I had one question. I really just wanted to tell you, bro, like, bro, your facial expression on YouTube, like, do you be doing that on purpose? Like your expression, and like when you be popping your eyes out when you ask the question, like, is that on purpose or like what's the science behind that, brother?
I don't know, man. Like what you trying to say?
No, I'm just saying, like it's almost like you was made for YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like I just kind of I be watching, you know, the certain stuff that you be doing. It's just like he was like you really got a gift when it comes to, this YouTube, man. And whenever you be telling your stories, like your personal life stories, it's always interesting. It's always interesting just to see kind of like how you started your YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Your history back in Mississippi, and just kind of how you grew up. Like, you a real interesting person. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing what you do now for a job. It's really interesting, and it's somewhat inspirational. You know what I'm saying? I just want to let you know, you can give us the backstory, some more of the backstory. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever try to think you is wrong. It's just a football channel. You know what I'm saying? We definitely interested to hear more of those stories. I remember we used to talk about this car you used to have. I forgot the name of the car you used to have. My brother know exactly.
My brother know the Green Goblin, man. We had the Green Goblin. That was a two-door 1982 Camaro. It looked good at night, though, boy. That fucking look good. And then I had the 95 Honda Civic, but that 82 Camaro, man, shoot. That Joker there, man. Look, man, that was my baby there, man. I really liked that one, man. That one was nice. No, I'm sorry. It was a 92 Camaro. I didn't fool around, aged it. It was a 92 Camaro. Baby, that thing was nice.
So yeah, man, I definitely just want to, tell you that, so,
appreciate it.
Show you that love. And also, I just put the Judge Kool-Aid down for a second. I wanted to know your honest assessment of what you feel like the Cowboys is gonna do this upcoming season.
Man, you already know it's.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns, things we don't know that we don't know.
Here's my truths. I don't know, man. Look, I'm gonna give you guys. Look, I promise you, if the Lord's willing, if I'm able to get out there to Oxnard and just me seeing things from the first perspective versus second and third points of view, I can really give you a fair assessment. But this is my honest assessment. We the best team in the NFC East. I think that we're still better than the Eagles, Giants, and the Washington Commanders. I think that we are still the best team in the NFC East. They don't say much, by the way, but if we can win, sorry about that, when we win our division, get to the playoffs, win a playoff game, Law Nation is going crazy. I'm going crazy because I'm gonna give you guys some raw stuff, man. That's going to just be pulling out of the sky. It's just going to be nasty, man. It's going to go.
It's Mr. Nasty time.
For real.
But yeah, man, that's I just wanted to call in and show you that love, man. I really wanted to, ask the question, man. Keep giving us, the backstory. It's always interesting. It's always, good to learn, just kind of your story. And I used to always see your the thumbnails of your videos. But I used to always scroll up. I used to just ignore it because I used to not like YouTubers for whatever reason. I just thought it was one of those spam type of people. I forgot what clickbait type of things, but it was exactly. Yeah. But it was one season to where, man, it was dry in these streets. I couldn't get no cowboy information on nothing. And the off season was just, it was just killing me, man. The off season. So I finally clicked on the joint, and you popped up, and I'm like, oh man, you kind of good, man. You know what I'm saying? Then I was hooked ever since, man. You know what I'm saying? So.
I appreciate it, man. Giving me these flowers, man. I'm going to water these flowers. I'm going to plant it somewhere, man. Hey, man, we growing too, man. So this is just the beginning, bro. And this is just only one piece of me, man, that you guys see. Y'all don't get a chance to see all of me, This is just only one sector that I kind of get. Look, I had some people, man, the conscious community reached out and said, man, dude, you on some good stuff, man. I said, man, I don't want to get shut down. I don't want the Illuminati all over my body,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I appreciate you. What's your name, fam?
You got the beard. Oh, it's Darius.
Darius.
From Dallas.
me save you in here, man. Darius, Yeah. Yeah, Darius, I got you in here, man. I appreciate you so much, man, for calling in and giving me these flowers, man. Tune in tonight, man. Me and my brother gonna go live tonight. And
even though he a 49er fan, that's my dog. I rock with him, man. Keep him up. Coach Marv needs his own show too, by the way, man.
Man, Coach Marv, man, his information. That's why I we talk about measuring Kool-Aid, but with Coach Marv, I listen twice to what he say because I know where it comes from. It don't come from like opinions that he's pulling out of the sky or out of his what. So that's why
Mike McCarthy assessment.
Yeah.
Ooh, boy, that ain't the truth. Yeah.
Right. So Coach Marv, man, he's that guy too, man. And just tune in tonight, Darius, man, and we're gonna have a good time, fam.
That's a bit. All love, man.
One love, man. Appreciate you, man. It's a good call from him, man. He about to make me cry. Cool.
That's where the guts went. Just dropped them.
Oh my gosh, man. I appreciate y'all, man, so much, man. YouTube done open up so many things for content creators. Remember, we are content creators. We're not beat reporters. We're not writers. Some people are, and then we are not actors or what have you. We are just guys that's probably speaking on things that we love and it somehow became a trend, and I proud myself on a lot of things that I helped a lot of people out that I don't even say their names, but they hit me up and it's good to see what they do from the outside looking in. And I say, I've helped people out, believe it or not. They got over 100,000 YouTube subscribers. People that got 30. I helped out a dude that had 380,000 YouTube subscribers, right? And I said, man, I wish I had that many. But I stay in my lane. I stick to what I do. I do know that if I do other variations of content, I can have more, right? Can you imagine Law Nation doing basketball reviews and reality shows or what have you like that? Or Law Nation doing full-fledged skits? I know the put it like this. I know the algorithm for the skits, and I know for sure I can be up there with Big John and all of those other boys. But I'm married. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But it is what it is. Cowboy Nation. Let me give a shout out to Burnett that's on the Facebook. Thank you so much. And also Craig, he says on the Facebook with the 200 stars and Burnett with the 200 stars. Why isn't Matt Walesko talked about more? His grade was crazy. Wasn't like he was a 9.96 out of 10. Then he gave me some more stuff. Here's in short, Craig, of why Matt Walesko is not talked about more. And I really appreciate you on your donation over there on the Facebook. It's because we haven't put on the pads yet. And the time that they did said something about him, he gave up 4 sacks to Sam Williams. So that's a lot, man. It's hard to give praises to someone who gave up 4 sacks. But we're talking about practice, not a game. Not a game. In the winding minutes, I really appreciate you. Coach Marv goes out to say this right here.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
He says his lineup is D-Law, Osa, Gallimore, DA, with Hill as the backup of the 3. Okay, I feel you on that, Coach Marv. Let me see. Osa, Gallimore, Hill. I can roll with that. Sam Williams getting 12 sacks this season, Cowboy Nation. I think that Sam Williams is going to earn his starting spot. Do you think, this is from Randy, shout out to you, man. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He said, do you think if the Cowboys sign Schultz to a long-term deal, will allow Cowboy to sign Anthony Barr or Sue? We got $23 million now. Sue, Anthony Barr. Matter of fact, if number of people that's on your team now, you only have, I think they only have one roster spot that's available right now. But if you didn't have that roster spot, you have enough money to sign Anthony Barr and Sue right now, as my granddaddy would say, right now. So you will have more money even if you put Schultz onto a long-term contract, and I believe that is what the Cowboys are knocking and banging on the table. Mark my word, there will be some breaking news before or right on the date of July the 15th about news out of Oxnard. The Cowboys are now signing LVE. Oh, I'm sorry. Not LVE. Dalton Schultz to a long-term contract based upon blah, 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 blah. That's about to happen in a few weeks, give or take. I think that Schultz, this is just my thoughts. I think Schultz is going to win. He's going to beat the Jones family on the negotiation strategy, and they're going to fold, and they're going to sign him to a long-term contract. I don't really see Schultz playing on the franchise tag like D-Law and like Dak Prescott. I think that they're going to fold, and they're going to have Schultz playing on that long-term contract. I don't think he will play on the franchise tag. It's just my thoughts. It's just my thoughts, Cowboy Nation. I really appreciate everybody for jumping in and tuning in. That's all the time that I have for today. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond. Be sure to check out my film on Harper. Watch how he hit. He's a guy that I really like. I think he can be a special teams ace. If he goes out and play like he played last season, of course, we talking about college. But if he can give us some of those things, 6 sacks or what have you, tackles for loss was 11, I really think that this kid can make you forget about the other linebackers that's on his team by the name of Luke Gifford. And even LVE, believe it or not, him patched up or married up with Parsons could be a unique thing, Cowboy Nation. So with that being said, look, let's figure this out. It's right around the corner of whether or not this guy can do that. I'm really high on Story Jackson, by the way. I'm really rooting for him as well. But things are things, right? Time is of the essence. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? High Life says Law, Osa, Gallimore, and Sam. The Sax I am. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Shout out to Darius for his praises, his love and adulations for the nation. In reality, we all have to start somewhere, and it's good that he strolled around the YouTube world and saw the thumbnails of Law and said, you know what? I'm going to give this guy a chance. I'm going to give this guy an opportunity to see if he's worth the click-through rate. And he selected one of my videos, and he said he's been hooked ever since. That's good information, Cowboy Nation. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for all 70,000 of the people that's following and rocking with me to roll with me, because I know that there's only a few that's willing to go down with you. There's only a few that's willing to ride with you. And just like the Cowboys organization and franchise, it's been 26 going on 27 years. It's only a few that stand tall, not wavering, not altering, not jumping ship. Because we do know that when that moment and when that time eventually happens, and it will, that we can look back and say, hey, we were not the fickle fans. We questioned the team, but only out of the guidance of our hearts, right? We understand Jerry Jones been in the way. Get out of the way. Move out of the way, Jerry. Let this team focus in. Going into his third year, Mike McCarthy got his back against the wall, and in the shadows he can see Sean Payton with that grimmish grin staring for this spot. It's quite strange, believe it or not, like Ripley's. Even Jason Garrett knew that when Sean Payton was on the opposite side, he showcased his best quality games. Do you guys remember? We used to say, man, even Jason Garrett is now giving Sean Payton a butt whooping. Well, let's fast forward to 2022. There's no Jason Garrett here, right? There's only Iron Mike McCarthy. I want him to do the same. But not just when we play against the Saints, because we don't play the Saints this year. But I want him to gravitate to this every game. Coach your best. Understand that you got your back against the wall. And when you up against the struggles, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulders, plant your feet, and take a brace. And when it's vain to try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. The unique part about this, you may fall, you may conquer, see it through. Write this down. Black may be the clouds about you, and your future may seem grim. Ain't that right? But don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. If worse is bound to happen in spite of all that you do, remember, running from it will not save you. You got to continue to fight. And even know that even with trouble may be beset. But remember, you facing what other legends have met. Tom Landry, Jimmy Johnson, right? Keep your head high. See this thing all the way through, Cowboy Nation, and everyone that's listening. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. We about. Y'all smash that like button, baby. If you watch this whole episode without...
Please! Stop, please! Come back, please!
Let's go, baby. I got a request to run this thing all the way up, and we would do just that. We'll run it up, baby. I just want to run it up, baby. Appreciate y'all. Yeah. Let's go.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
But we still tell them.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Come on. Yeah. Reggie, Bieber. Appreciate you.
Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count that.
Shout out to you, Uncle Charles. Shout out to you, Coach Mom. Randy. Appreciate you.
Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside.
Come on.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. Hey. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, yeah. I'm with Revenant.
Who with Law?
I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck, and now still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment.
Come on.
You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling
He needs some
Search
mint.
for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit.
Come on.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Tell them, y'all. Hey.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal.
Where my dogs
I
at?
just wanna run it up. Yeah. Count a check a song. Lately,
down, boy, down. Them dogs everywhere.
Count that too, count it up. Count it up, count it up.
Count it up, count it up.
Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah, yeah. I just be off the dome. I I never own no chrome. Too many foes and
if you don't like the Cowboys,
shut
up! Come on.
I be in zones alone.
Execute Order 66.
Come on. To the haters. Appreciate y'all. I gotta change that out. I see Cedric Wilson up in that thing. You gotta get him up off of there. Come on. Hey.
Count that too. Lately, I just wanna
Wait for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too.
No doubt. One love, Cowboy Nation. Let's continue to grind.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Hey.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Come on. Somebody said that we got some breaking news. Do we really have some breaking news? Let's see if we got some breaking news.
We answered, I talked stuff, I thought we had it, but it goes to show you who's the better team, and I'm sticking Cowboys.
You're crying.
You're crying.
I'm hurt. I love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You gonna flap the hat one more time for the Eagles for the hard fight they did?
Let's go Birds, fly, Eagles, fly. Still Super Bowl champions.
Oh my gosh, man. Hey, this is beyond funny right there, man. But hey, one of these days, I'm just gonna play that on replay for like an hour. Just go have that whole loop, just loop it around for an hour, you know. And if you don't like it,
You liar!
y'all know y'all like that.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
We up out, man. I got to roll, though. I really do got to roll, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. Let's go. One love. If it's your birthday this month, happy birthday to you. To Alicia that's in the chat.
You stupid.
Another one. Another one.
Emotional damage.
When you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too.
I follow. This is for Alicia that's in the chat.
Now, so the cocaine's happening. When does that crack come into play for you?
Good. All the haters, lean forward just a little bit. It's gonna hurt you, but it's gonna be pleasure to us.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Let's go. Salute.
Enemy spotted.
That was easy.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far.
suck.
Then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a baby
Another one.
Fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
You could not live with your own failure.
Somebody say, play that Wasted one more time. I got you right now. I got you right now.
Enemy spotted.
That's Alicia right now running off.
You stupid.
Oh my God.
Got him.
Let me get up out of here, man. We return to the scene. Oh my gosh, man.